Laker fans, welcome to another preview video. Not how we wanted to start the playoffs. Not what we were looking for. 117-95 victory for the Minnesota Timberwolves in LA. So tough loss. Let's look at what went wrong so we can think about how we can change it and some potential strategic things that the Lakers could change heading into game two. I thought three things really went in this loss. Number one, energy was not there. Outside of Jared Vanderbilt and Luka Doncic, it really felt like it was lackadaisical, not a lot of hustle. Guys weren't putting hands up on closeouts, simple things. And credit to the Minnesota Timberwolves, they were all over the place. They were hustling the loose balls. They were hitting shots. But a lot of those, they hit a franchise record number of threes on the night. And for a playoff game with 21 of 40, a lot of those were uncontested threes. And it looked like a shoot around at times. It felt like the Lakers kind of gave up on it a little bit. Dorian Finney-Smith actually mentioned this in a quote. He talked about himself personally. He said, I got to be a little bit more active. Last game I allowed not touching the ball on offense to kind of mess with my energy, and I got to be better. And it was kind of nice to hear him say that because it looked like a lot of the team felt that way. With the shots not going, it was just kind of like, we're going to come back because we've done it a lot this year. And this Minnesota team is damn good. And again, Luka and Jared Vanderbilt, I thought, brought a lot of intensity. The rest of the team didn't. Number two, I thought JJ had a little bit of a tough night, even though I love him as a coach. I think he's been very good. I love how transparent he is with the media and kind of calling out the team for the lack of energy going into that fourth quarter on the sideline reporter interview. But I didn't understand not playing Jackson Hayes the rest of the game. After the first quarter, he was benched. He played 8 minutes on the night, 0 of 2 from the field, 1 point. I get the thought process of going small ball, of trying to take Rudy Gobert out of the game, kind of do a little X's and O's thing where if you're hitting shots, Gobert and the amount of size on this team does become kind of a problem for Minnesota. But when the Lakers weren't hitting shots, that lineup doesn't work. And it felt like every time that the Timberwolves happened to miss a three, which was rare, they were getting the offensive rebound. Jackson Hayes needs to be playing in the series. He's the only 7-footer on the team that's not Alex Len. Alex Len should not be playing in the playoffs. He's only 7-footer on the team to combat some of the size. Rudy Gobert, I felt like, was controlling the paint, even though he wasn't doing a lot offensively. It felt like it was tough for the Lakers to get inside. And then number three, I just thought that the lack of timeouts as well from JJ Redick, the run there at the end of the half, getting it to a 12-point lead for the Timberwolves. The DiVincenzo shot was big for them. And then the 11-0 run right out of the gates. It felt like kind of sealed the deal. And before he called a timeout when it was 23-point deficit, when it's 23-point deficit or 26-point deficit, which it got up to, you have to be perfect to come back from that. And you're asking to do that against a good Minnesota team that's known for defense. That's a tough ask. And the Stars have to be better. The third point, the Stars have to be better. Luka was fantastic. He does not deserve any of his playing. LeBron and Reeves gotta be better because Reeves had a really tough night, and he's kind of the certified patient, and he did have a really awful night from the field. 16 points, 5 of 13 from 3, minus 25 in the plus-minus. That can't happen. We all know that Reeves is not Scottie Pippen on the defensive end. He's not some legendary defender, but he can't be if he's the Lakers take the lack of defense from him because they know on offense he's going to be going up against the third best on-ball defender, and he's going to be able to exploit some of those matchups. He wasn't doing that. I thought LeBron had a bad night as well. His stat line at the end of the game was okay. 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. He didn't score in the first quarter, went on a 10-0 run, got 10 points there in the second. But that run that they kind of built, there was a few LeBron blocks. They was 2 in a row, actually, where LeBron went up for a layup, got blocked, and it felt like the whole team, not just LeBron, it was a lot of 5-on-4s going back the other way, 4-on-3s, easy transition buckets for the Timberwolves, which cannot happen. And that was something we talked about coming into the game one, is the Timberwolves have been bad in transition. They've been number 25 on over the whole season in transition buckets, and they really got out in transition and took it to the Lakers. I thought that was a big part where the Lakers could kind of beat them, was out in transition. The Lakers are so good with getting rebounds, hitting outlet passes, getting easy buckets, but they weren't in game one. And credit to the Timberwolves again. They were really good on the night and were able to get it going. And the supporting cast has to be better as well. I mean, Rui Hachimura, 9 points, minus 26 in the plus-minus. That can't happen. And Vando had 2 points, but again, I thought he played really well. He was one of the few players I was impressed with on the night. Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent, unacceptable. Each making one shot. That can't happen. They're out there to play defense and hit threes, and if they're not hitting threes, that's too much to ask. You can't just ask Luka to score 37 points. The fact that he scored 37 points and the Lakers lost by 22 shows you how bad the rest of the team was. Now that we got that out of our system, we got game one flushed in the rearview mirror. I was listening to Alan this morning. I totally agree with him. Don't hit the panic button yet. The Timberwolves are a good team. I didn't think they were going to sweep. The Lakers were going to sweep them. And this is a must-win game. Game two, you can't lose game two. Because if you lose game two, then it's a tall task. Then you have to go into Minnesota and win both games to give yourself a real shot. And if you had just lost both games in LA, winning both games in Minnesota, probably too much of a tall task. But if the Lakers were able to win game two, I think the series stays with the Lakers winning it. I'm not worried about them stealing home court advantage as much because I firmly believe the Lakers can go into Minnesota and get wins. That's not something that I'm really worried about from the Lakers. The Lakers in the Western Conference have really been able to win at home or on the road. So that's not really a problem for me, but got to win game two because they're definitely brimming with confidence. They kind of played that underdog role that Anthony Edwards talked about it coming into game one, about how no one believes in us and all this stuff. And they kind of played like it. And the Lakers felt a little lackadaisical, as we were talking about earlier. Even after that first quarter, 28 to 21, it just felt like it was 7-point lead. It felt a little bit like a regular season game. It was odd. It was just kind of walking through the motions, not quite that intensity that you need out of a playoff matchup that we've been seeing in a lot of these other games. Some quotes after the game I thought was big. I love what JJ said. I think a lot of times you could hear that word, you would think, oh, it's the point guard calling play. No, it's just all the normal stuff that we try and do, and when we do it, we're really good. Being organized is screening. Being organized is getting the proper spacing. Being organized is getting the corners filled after makes and misses. That's being organized. That was kind of the big recurring theme about JJ Redick, and I totally agree with him, was the word organized. It was very discombobulated, the entire defensive game plan. The offensive game plan felt like a lot of standing and waiting around, and it was just Luka was the only one doing anything. And at some point, they were doubling him and just kind of making it hard for him to do anything. Interesting stat ESPN found: the Lakers were actually 1 of 8 off Luka Doncic passes. So not only did Luka have 37 points, but no one was giving him assists either. So I fully expect this to be different in game two. Vegas is agreeing with this. They actually have the Lakers favored at 5.5, even though they lost by 22. It's actually a bigger spread than what it was to open the first game when they were only favored by 4.5. The Timberwolves had an exceptional shooting night. 21 of 40 from three. Jay McDaniels had 25 points. If Jay McDaniels keeps that up the entire series, then I guess kudos to him. I don't see that happening. I think the Lakers had a really poor shooting night. They had a really good shooting night, and it just led to kind of a colossal disaster on night one. But Reeves is going to bounce back. LeBron's going to bounce back. I fully expect the bench to bounce back. And if the bench doesn't bounce back and Dorian Finney-Smith and Vincent are still just making one shot a game, JJ's going to have to look at someone else. Got to look at Goodwin. Got to look at Connect. I don't care that they're both young, especially Connect being a rookie. You got to do something, because if these guys are losing all confidence, again, only one game, but if we're sitting here after game two and the Lakers lost again and they're not hitting shots, I think you got to play someone else. I think early in this game, in game two, if they're not hitting shots as well, I would give Connect some looks. I would give Goodwin some looks, even though maybe they're not the best defensively. I think it's something you got to put some juice on the team. And hell, even if Connect's not that great on defense, if he's given effort, which a lot of the team wasn't doing on game one, I think that'd be a big add. And so overall, I don't want to panic. I think the Lakers get this game two. It's a pivotal point in the series. They are brimming with confidence, but again, it's different when you go from the Lakers, everyone favored them. They're going to run through the Timberwolves. A lot of the media thought, and the Timberwolves come out and kind of shell shock them. Now you become the hunted a little bit, and you're still that, where I think if the Lakers can get this game two, just settle down. The Lakers are still just plus 115 to win the series, so which is pretty good considering they're down one game. But that means Vegas still kind of believes in them, even though Minnesota is the favorite. I think they're going to be all right. I think they're going to get this one. Alan's going to get you guys on the morning show as usual, and then the post-game show as well, breaking it down. I don't know if he's going to be there or not. That was great seeing him at the arena doing the pregame and postgame last time. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Go Lakers. Going to get this victory, and hopefully we'll be talking about an even series heading into Friday's matchup and all that. So appreciate everybody for tuning in, and go Lakers.